Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Spring Lunch Roast Podcast, episode number 133. I am Brendan. Eagle FC 47, Dos Santos versus De Castro went down yesterday, and some controversy, a little bit of nonsense. We're going to go over that stuff. We're going to go over the main event. We're going to go over Hector Lombard versus Thiago Silva, Doug Usher, Maki Pitolo, Andrew Sanchez, Gabriel Checko. We're going to go over all that stuff today. It should be a relatively short video. These fights are either short or didn't have a lot going on, so maybe we will focus on annoying stuff that we can cover and things that annoy me and possibly you. Before we get started, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. I cover all kinds of MMA. I cover the UFC, Eagle FC, ONE FC, Bellator. I put out at least 2 or 3 videos a week, and I break down pretty much every fight on every main card, and then the UFC, I cover every fight from every event. So if you like that stuff, subscribe so you can know when the next video is coming out. And if you like this video, press the like button. I appreciate you. Cool, let's get going. Let's talk about the main event here. So it ended due to a shoulder injury from Junior Dos Santos. These guys do not look like this anymore. They do not. These are old pictures. He is not that thin looking, and he does not look that young. All right. So what happened was in the third round, Dos Santos was throwing I think a looping punch like he does with his right hand, and then he stopped, pulled back, and his right hand was, good grief, what did they do to his nose? That is a bad pet. Here, look, would you guys look at this? Seriously, look what they did to this guy's nose. I mean, it might be broken, but it is not that broken. Jeez. Holy moly, that's so bad. Why'd they do that to his face? Oh, okay, anyway. I didn't notice that till right now. I saw it in the promotional stuff, and I just, he... God, who does he look like? He looks like a goddamn video game character. Ah, it's so bad. Anyway, so he dislocates his shoulder, and the fight has to get called off because the shoulder doesn't pop back into place. We'll talk about that. I want to get to how the fight went down because it was relatively interesting from my point of view. So in the first round here, De Castro was throwing like giant winging right hands, and Junior was working the legs and using his jab. Now, Jorgen landed a couple big right hands, and Santos was backing up a lot in this first round, and Dos Santos was landing some decent shots while retreating, but I will tell you that the bigger shots did come from De Castro. Even though he didn't outland Dos Santos, the bigger shots, the more damage went to De Castro. And if you want to say damage was even, because Dos Santos landed more volume and whatever you want to present that argument, that's fine. De Castro was moving forward more often, therefore it gave him that first round. Now in the second round here, those leg kicks started to pay off. So the leg kicks from Junior were limiting the movement of De Castro quite a bit, and De Castro actually had to switch stance multiple times. He started doing like the fake bravado, pounding his chest, pointing down to the ground, like waving it off, saying it's not doing anything, like, hey, like, stay here, come to me, that kind of stuff. And commentary aside, I always speak on the commentary of Eagle FC. I don't like it. They're not a good commentary team. They don't work well together. I think Chael Sonnen talks enough for all 4 of them. And then you add in Kamaru Usman, who doesn't have his rhythm yet. I think eventually he could develop the ability to be a decent commentator. It's just he has this I don't know. He doesn't have the fake swagger that he normally does when he's presenting himself, but it's just this air of not invincibility, like he can't let his guard down type of thing. Like he can't be himself yet because he's still actively fighting and he is the champion. So maybe one day he'll eventually be able to let his guard down a little bit and become more open and honest, and just you can kind of get that the way he comes across in his broadcast. It doesn't make him like a bad broadcaster necessarily, but right now it just doesn't do it for me. And their play-by-play guy is fucking horrendous. Like he is awful. He's so bad. I think he's the one who called the Gagey Michael Johnson fight back in the day, saying they gotta both tap out due to exhaustion. Like almost ruined that fight for me. He's so bad. And then you got Henry Cejudo, who doesn't shut up either. Okay, like he doesn't shut up, and they just don't work well together, right? They're not a good combination, right? Like I think I've had it where Chael Sonnen is good if he's with a guy who's more passive. And then you got Henry Cejudo, who I think could add in and play that Dominic Cruz type of wrestling background, expertise level, and that counterpart to some people. But he talks too much for that role right now. They just don't mesh. Let's put it that way. All right, it's not the worst experience. I don't know what I would rather listen to. Honestly, I think I would still rather listen to them because at least they're fun. Okay. All right. So they are fun. All right. Chael Sonnen, Henry Cejudo, Kamaru Usman, they have their fun in there, and I think that comes across, and I think that's why it doesn't ruin my experience. Whereas with Bellator, they have a whole other myriad of issues with their commentary team, and then on top of that, they're boring. So, if you're going to be stupid, at least be fun. If you're going to be smart, it's just, it doesn't work that well. But that being said, this is their third U.S. event. I'll give them some slack. They're still trying to hit their groove. They don't happen that often. Let's give these guys some time. I'm just being honest with it. Like their broadcast, their presentation still isn't there. The video quality isn't as high as I'd like it to be. Anyway, that's enough of that stuff. So I had it even going into the third round here, and then Junior Dos Santos clearly was pulling ahead, and he was going to win this fight, barring a knockout or flash knockdown or anything like that. He was going to win this fight. He was totally in control. He throws that right hand, and unfortunately his right shoulder pops out. And then after the fight gets called off because of that injury, Jorgen starts celebrating, and then, he's acting like he did something. Dude, you didn't do shit. That first round, I gave it to you. You did win that first round, and it was split, but you were getting your ass kicked. And you didn't cause that injury. You had no part in causing that injury. I don't want to hear it. You were a punching bag, and he hurt himself on the punching bag. Right? He hurt himself on that heavy bag in that third round, and that heavy bag was Jorgen de Castro. It sucks that this is the way it ended and then the commentary team is talking about how this ruins the chances of Junior Dos Santos fighting Fedor and having the crossover promotion with Bellator. No, it doesn't. He didn't get knocked out. This says TKO here. It says TKO victory because that's the only classification you can have when there's an injury that stops the fight. But dude, he didn't win shit. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, this is a nothing. This is a nothing on the record of either of these guys. It doesn't show me anything other than that Dos Santos is clearly better than De Castro. And going forward, I'm still interested in Dos Santos. Let's put it that way. The fight was decent. I think it definitely wasn't the worst fight that I watched from this card. That's for sure. But yeah, it's unfortunate that that's how it ended. All right, let's talk about the co-main event here. Hector Lombard taking on Thiago Silva. So this was weird. First of all, Hector Lombard getting horribly out of shape here. He is... Okay, fat's not the right word. Thick isn't the right word either. He is he's getting to be kind of a chubbers. He's got a gut on him, man. He used to fight at 170. I understand that you're getting older. He is 44 years old and he doesn't want to cut weight anymore and make it down to 170. That's fine. But this is that light heavyweight dude. Talk about not cutting weight. This guy was eating pies before he walked on the stage. Ugh. Anyway, this one ended in a no contest due to an illegal blow thrown by Silva. So, all right, let's break this one down. Okay. Again, Hector Lombard. I say again because the guy, Hector Lombard, he landed this beautiful left hook early in the fight. It wasn't a crazy exchange, but he landed one, messed up Thiago Silva's right eye a little bit, stunned him. Silva had to drop to his back. that was all that happened in the first round. So for the rest of the first round, Lombard was kind of on top, looking for like a half-ass submission. It didn't really do anything, wasn't going anywhere. Silva just defending, and then he works his way back up to the feet. It was kind of a boring round, but obviously Lombard won. He did damage, and Silva did none. Then here comes the second round. Silva throws this beautiful straight right hand right on the button, just lands right to the nose, the bridge of the nose of Lombard. You could not throw that more center on anybody's face. Drops Lombard down. Lombard's stunned. He's rocked, and then he's halfway on a knee. He rolls onto his other knee and then reaches forward as if to grab a leg of Silva. Meanwhile, Silva's half-ass throwing a left knee, like he's trying to time it because it looks like Lombard's getting up. And because of that, it grazes the neck and lands on the side of the head. So that's an illegal blow. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's an illegal blow, bad timing, bad luck. You call it what you want. No, do I think Silva was purposely, did he plan to knee Lombard in the head? Obviously not. He was retracting it once he saw Lombard grabbing for him. Like Lombard moved his face into the knee. Might as well call it a headbutt to the knee at that point for how much movement there actually was, right? If you want to talk about from point A to point B, point A being the knee, point B being Lombard's head, Lombard moved 70% of the distance. That gap was mainly moved by Lombard in that situation. So, as far as illegal blows go, this one, I hate them, first of all. It's an illegal blow. If you want to call the fight off, you're more than welcome, and that's exactly what happens here. Lombard doesn't want to continue. Obviously, he was stunned by the right hand, and he found a way out, so he took it. To say that he wasn't able to continue, to say that he was able to continue because that knee wasn't that bad, that's a straw man argument, in my opinion, right? You can't just say that because it's the whole sequence. He was rocked already, so maybe he isn't able to continue, and he knows that he doesn't have to. Why would he continue to fight? Now you can say whatever. Now you can make your conclusions about what Lombard, his will to win, his will to fight, all those other things. You can make your conclusions and try to do all that mental gymnastics and do all that shit that you want afterwards once you set it up properly. But if you tell me that, that knee wasn't that bad, therefore he should continue, that's baloney. He was clearly rocked. And I'm not excusing Lombard here. I think this was kind of like he knew what he was doing. He was like, I don't want to fight anymore. I was rocked. I was in a bad position. I don't know if it was going to go my way going forward, and I'm compromised. Therefore, I don't want to continue. There's no reason to. I think the right call was made here, making this a no contest when it comes to the timing, right? This was the start of the second round. Not a lot of the fight had start. You couldn't really grade the fight. I understand that this is the Florida Commission, so it might be different than the Boston Commission. I don't fucking know. Like all these different commissions have different rules on how much of the fight needs to take place before they can score a partial round and blah blah blah. Whatever. It's unfortunate to see this go this way. This is why this card was kind of meh for me. It was all right. It wasn't bad, but the last two fights end with this crap. Not great. Okay, Maki Pitolo taking on Doug Usher, knocking him out in the first round. Really tight left hook. These guys were supposed to come in, bang it out, and have some crazy exchanges. Like this is supposed to be nothing but firefights, blah, blah, blah. That's how it started. It started like that. They were kind of in a 50-50 position, and Pitolo got the better of it and landed a really tight, very tight, in close left hook right on the chin, puts him to sleep, and he just flatlines, man. Like just face to the mat, knocked the fuck out. Also, this event, all of the Eagle FCs have been free. So you just go to FlexCast, FLXcast, and you can watch these fights. So you don't have to pay for anything like Bellator or UFC. This is one of those ones where I'd skip around and watch some of the more exciting ones. Why not? It's fun stuff. All right, Andrew Sanchez making his way over to Eagle FC here. Again, and taking on Gabriel Checko for his first fight and getting the victory. The decision. So, First of all, Sanchez doesn't look like this either. What is with this? Like, what happened to Sanchez? I don't understand why these guys don't look like. Oh, maybe drug testing. I just answered my own question. Oops. Oddly enough, Checko was the one looking tired in the first round. Usually that's a Sanchez staple. Sanchez did not use his wrestling nonstop. He was actually content to stay on the feet in the first round, play back and forth, and Sanchez looked good. You know, he's picking the shots, he's outlanding them, doing some damage, going in and out, not taking a lot in return, doing a good job. First round, easy peasy, 10-9, Andrew Sanchez. Sanchez was controlling the fight on the ground in the second round, so, you know, Checko really wanted to, you know, work off his back and, you know, work some sweeps, go for submissions and all that, but Sanchez he just wasn't having it. He was able to control him on the ground and put him in the positions that he wanted to be in, not take any damage in return, wasn't really in threat of being submitted or anything like that. Easy second round for Sanchez. Third round, more of the same. You know, on the feet, Sanchez was picking his shots, landing at will, doing pretty much what he wanted, and then it kind of goes to the ground. Checko just had nothing to offer. He just couldn't give anything back. Sanchez looked great. I think Andrew Sanchez left the UFC prematurely. Maybe not prematurely. I think his reason for leaving the UFC wasn't related to his ability. Let's put it that way. I think he maybe needed to change his training techniques or whatever, but he switched over to AKA, and I think he looks great. So I'm excited to see him fight. UFC's got some real talent here. All right, and the very first fight on the, dang it, on the main card here, Ahmed Aliev versus Daryl Horcher, knocking him out in the first round. Aliev just landed a hook, left hook, right hook combo, and knocked him out just flat in the first round. 30 seconds, super quick fight. And then what's the other fight that I did watch? This was the last fight on the prelims, just because it's Islam's fight. So Islam Mamedov versus Zach Zane. Islam just got the quick rear naked choke. You know, he worked into a grappling position, took his back, and got the rear naked choke relatively quick against a guy who is 15-13 here. It's to be expected. Islam is an up and comer, and he's made to be one of, if not the, you know, he'll probably end up in the UFC at some point. A lot of those guys do. Cool. That's the whole card. The whole main card. I didn't spend a lot of time watching all these prelims. Yeah. Let me know what you guys thought. Are you guys watching the Eagle FC? Do you guys want to see more? I mean, I'm gonna watch them regardless, but I don't have to cover these if you guys don't want to. I do like taking notes anyway, because it allows me to go back and I can look and see, like, oh, hey, you know, in the last fight, this is how he fought. Maybe in this fight he'll do the same thing. So you guys let me know. I think it's free. So, you know, you take it, you peruse as you like. You don't have to pay for anything. I think it's great. If you do like this stuff and you made it through this whole video, you are a champ. Seriously, you are in one of the most obscure sides of YouTube, watching some random dude cover one of the more obscure MMA organizations. So I appreciate y'all. If you made it this far, please subscribe, because you'll like everything I do. I promise. If you like this video, you're going to like the other ones. And if you did make it this far, just hit the like button too, because you're already here. You're already here, man. Just do it. But it means a lot to me. It really does. I appreciate y'all. And I will be breaking down both all the other fights that are, I'm pretty sure there's more fights this weekend, right? Isn't Holly Holm fighting this weekend? Just knocked over my stream deck. Yeah, Holly Holm's fighting this weekend, so I'm covering that. Yeah, Holly Holm. I'll cover the UFC in the next video. The next two videos will be the prelims and the main card of the UFC Fight Night, Holm versus Vieira. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe so you catch that one. I appreciate y'all. It means a lot to me. Love y'all. And if you don't watch that one, awesome. And I hope everybody has an amazing week.